Well, here's a look at the market through the eyes of eMiniDayTrader. Of course, this is just a short video compared to the one that we post on our members website, which is usually about 15 or 20 minutes long with several more charts and a lot more detail. But today we will go over what we think the condition of the market is and also some of the trades that we took today. So what we always like to start with is the overnight session market profiles, which is this volume and market profile from the Globex session, this being the market profile here and its corresponding volume profile. So that means that this here was yesterday and this right here was what we had today. So another, mostly a day of consolidation, but a different kind of consolidation in that the market really moved around quite a bit today. It was a fast-moving market, as if it was on, greased wheels or something. Just sort of kept slip-sliding away back and forth, as opposed to individual bars that had a great deal of volatility in them. So it did make trading today somewhat challenging, although we are expecting the areas of support and resistance that we were looking at. We had mentioned yesterday that it's possible it could get down to 74.50 down in here, which was major support, so we didn't get there. We were also looking at an area in around here as support, which was more or less yesterday's low. So we did have a bit of follow through here overnight, a little bit more yesterday morning, but as you can see, did not spend much time down there, turned around pretty quickly, and then rallied for most of the rest of the day. So this, I think it's more bullish than bearish, although it's one of those days too where it's going to be a difficult call from a directional bias standpoint. It's sort of a mixed bag. The one thing I am thinking though is that we do have a potential for a good vertical move tomorrow, and taking that kind of vertical move could be very, very profitable. I expect it's going to go up, but I'm obviously going to wait until it does that. I would like to see the market either show that it can hold either above 910 or below about 897, and those are the prices that I'm going to be looking at as far as some better indication of the possibility for a continued vertical move come tomorrow. And here's our individual profiles. You can see most of the last 3 days overlapping. Here's our look at the entire day with our software. And so we had several trades today, and so when you take a look at them, our first trade came in here. We had a nice short here, we had another short here, and we had another short here. The first short really worked great. The second short was okay. The third short, it did reach our first objective only, and then so depending on, some were filled on it, some weren't, so it was either a break even or a loss of 3 ticks on that trade. We didn't have another opportunity to get into a trade until it rallied up again here, and then we got another long trade in here, and this trade moved a point and a quarter for us, so not too bad. It first moved against us before moving for us. We had a nice deceleration bar right here that we were able to get short on, hitting only our first objective on that, came within a tick of our second objective. The market was getting up into the known resistance area up in here. We did have another indication to get long in here, which we were stopped out on. We had another long in here, which dipped a little bit before moving in our favor. We had another deceleration bar here, which got us short on a nice down move. So we did have some losers today, but not the kind of volatility that we had today was difficult because we're having such tight stops. When we have this kind of market activity, and we can make a judge on this not only through the technical study that we do use in that regard, the average true range, but in the kind of structure we're dealing with, where we jump up our stop to 2 points, and when we do that, we find that we have a very, very high percentage of winning trades. So we did have some losers today, which affected us, and but that's kind of the way it is. It's a very volatile day. So we don't have a very strong bias either up or down at this stage of the game. Slightly leaning higher, although that's really want to see what goes on tomorrow, especially if it can hold above 910 or below 897. Those are kind of the areas. Potential support around 901 and then again around 899, but and then of course resistance around today's high and of course the 910 area. So those are the immediate supports and resistance and areas we'd like to see it above if it because then I think it's got a potential for a good strong vertical move, either much higher or much lower, if it can get above 910 or below 897. So that's really what we're looking at for Thursday, May 28th, 2009, going into Friday. So thanks for listening, and of course if you have any comments or questions, please get a hold of us at info@eMiniDayTrader.com.